I ain't got nothing to shut it. Are we live?
Okay. Shit, this thing be going fast. One thing about that old stream, y'all, boy. All right, there we go. All right. Hey, social media. I am live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be tuning in from today, man. It is your guy, Mr. Willie Ray Johnson Jr., man, and I am coming to y'all on this here special Saturday with my main man, my mentor, my big brother, Mr. Tarence, step in that room here, man. And it's been a while since we got a chance to come on here and talk to y'all together to drop some knowledge on you. But hey, we back like we never left, man. We're gonna have to go and get back on these things right here. Like I said, I'm on here with my man, Mr. Tarence Hill. Terrence, man, just come on, say good morning, say good afternoon, good day to the people, man, the way that only you can, my good brother.
Hey, Grand Rising, good people, man. Let me just throw it back to you. First of all, I appreciate you for sharing me with your network, okay? But man, hey, like I always say, Grand Rising, every day that I'm above ground, man, it's a blessing. So I'm sure we finna do some old entertainment.
Yes, Lord.
People like to be educated. Some people like to be, well, most people like to be entertained. So, man, greetings. I'm glad to be here.
Man, I'm glad to have you, good brother. So, man, you know how we tell when we come on, man, we try to always, talk to people, to just kind of let them know a different perspective on things. We never come on here to bash anybody or to cause chaos, because that's not what we do. I don't do that, and I know you don't, because that ain't what you have showed me how to do with what it is that we do.
Hey, that works for the devil. When you say chaos, that works for the devil.
Come on now. Come on now. So I'm tight on this one today, man. And like I said, I know we always just try to come with a topic, and then we just kind of elaborate and just kind of go off. But what I thought about today, man, is like after listening to, we just got off the training event with Mr. Curry, man, and golly, man, that boy he be talking to you sometimes, man. It feel like you got to put your guard up, but he just be giving you them punches with love. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
So I thought about it, man. I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it today from this. I know we'll probably go off, but I kind of want to focus around change doesn't happen by accident. It happens by action. Okay. So I know a lot of people, and I say this all the time, man. Again, I just want to make sure for those that are watching us, and y'all know how you do, man. If you come on and you seeing us, drop your city, drop your state, let us know where you're tuning in from. And I promise you, we will get to your comments as you drop them. But I always say, man, I never want anybody to take what I'm saying and try to feel like I'm attacking them, because that's not what I'm doing. I just try to come from a perspective of things that I've learned and things that I've seen as I've gone through and continue to go through my journey. But a lot of people do a lot of praying and a lot of hoping and wishing for change. But so many people fail to take action to make change happen. Now, you, man, you've been mentoring me, man, going on 7 years now, and I can never repay you enough. But just talk to me, man, about you. You've been doing what you've been doing for 15 years now. You just had your 15-year anniversary. Congratulations, man. You're doing it, man. You are definitely a seed of an awesome product, and you just keep bearing good fruit. But man, just talk to me about you and the change that you had to go through to be able to get to where you are right now.
Well, man, I'm gonna try to give you the quick, fast. I forget when you read books, Cliff Note version, okay? Because really, your boy have went through a lot, okay? And everybody has gone through a lot. People that live today, they don't went through a lot. But and therefore I have to say change is gonna happen regardless. Change, I've learned, is inevitable. But growth, that's optional. You grow by choice. You have to choose to grow. So I got tired of struggling in things that I didn't want to struggle in, and I had to make a choice to grow. And so I plugged into, the gentleman that you just mentioned, Mr. Curry. He's a living legend, man, in the financial world. A lot of people don't understand it and see it. But over 40 years of financial experience, wisdom, I had to plug into me a mentor just like you. And the reason I share that with you, Willie, is because I couldn't do it by myself. So I had to get me a resource. And in this time, it's no shortage of resources. All right. So everybody should get a mentor or have a coach. So that's what I did to get where you know me to where you know me at now. Now, in the financial aspect, yeah, Willie, my story. I had more money than I had money, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And that was back in 2008. You talk, Army soldier, right? Military minded. And my econ, it just keeping me now, you know, maneuvering how we would like on a battlefield, but now we just on a financial battlefield. So in 2008, when I was struggling, I just got off the nail and I went ahead and got help and found a mentor. Started with my econ, and really, I just been following the steps and been repeating the process for the last 15 years. And I'm going to keep repeating the process for another 15 years. And I already know because of what I've been repeating, how the compound effect worked. I'm going to have more compounding. So the effect going to feel different 15 years from now. So I had to change, Willie, because I got tired of struggling. I won't bore people with, a struggle is a struggle. And it's real. If a person really struggling, they know what struggle means. So I'm not going to burden people with the struggle. But since implemented though, Willie, we are we own our time. And that's the biggest thing, Willie, that I want most people to understand. You have to learn how to own your time. Having income, having money is great. But Willie, could you think about if you own 8 hours of your day that you could do anything you want to do? That's just 8 hours, not the whole 24. See, that'll give you time to draw all that income. And that's what I learned. And so that's what I started using my time to do. That's part of my repeat cycle that I just explained to you. So that's a little bit about me. Did 20 years in the Army. I retired back in 2015. And once I got out the Army, I had to do something. And those gentlemen, they asked me, well, what you going to do? Because in the military, I'm just say the military, right? And Willie, this is so important too, because in the military, I just found out probably yesterday, I was talking to Tarence, and I think now if you came in after 2018, you don't even have a pension plan anymore. So that's what a little bit about me, Willie, and that's what I do. I stay plugged in and connected to things that are important in my life. And finances is one of those things that's important in my life, and I really think it should be important in everybody's life. But I just studied money, and when I heard you can only retire off of what you build, I said, you know what? Well, let me start building. Because Willie, the truth of the matter is, government don't have a solution. They don't have an answer. No one's coming to save nobody financially. That ain't true. Ain't nobody who gonna love me? Who gonna love you? They say I'm finna come and save Willie from financial ruin. I've been living 47 years. They ain't showed up yet.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, hey, that's heavy right there, man. That is heavy. You know what's it's funny you say that, man, because like me and my wife, man, like that's my number one business partner right there. And me and her have just, we've gone through some struggles. I don't know a couple that don't, but me and her have come to the realization that the only people who are coming to save us is us. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nobody else gonna be, trying to extend anything to help us. Or it's gonna have to happen because me and her make the decision to make it happen. Hey man, that's awesome right there, man. That's awesome. So I want to hit you with another thing, man. Like I said, I just like getting on here with you, man, because the way we feed off each other and just the energy, man. It's a great thing. But today I heard Mr. Curry when we was on there listening to him. He said something, and I know you heard it. He said, you know, when it comes to what we do, a lot of people always ask us, is this one of them get rich quick things?
Yeah.
So I just want to hear, man, what do you think? You know, you've been doing, like I said, you've been doing this for 15 years, man. You build an awesome organization. Your business is strong. I know that because of what you're teaching me. But what do you think when you share the information with somebody and they come at you with the, hey man, is this one of them get rich quick things?
Okay. I don't know. It's been so long since somebody did come to me. But you know, I always like to, you know, first of all, Willie, I used to be them. Okay. I'm gonna just let you know I used to be them. And I used to hear about quick rich schemes. Even when I joined my eco and I went and took it to my family, they even said, some people in my family said, oh man, them get rich quick schemes been around for a long time. We know about them and now we don't want to be part of them. So here's what I say now to people, because I know the truth. They really do want to get rich quick. So I say, yeah, that's exactly what it is. You want to get rich? Willie, who do you know don't want to get rich and honest with themselves? Exactly. Whatever the riches are, rich is just a good word from the definition I know it to be, abundance. Who don't want abundance in their life? That's not who we're talking to if you that person. So I joke with them and I ask them that, really, is that what you want to be? Is that what you want to be, rich? Okay. And if they say yes, then we just go ahead and I talk to them and I share them exactly how do you become rich. Because to be honest with you, Willie, in order to become rich, wealthy, is this true or not true? You have to be able to keep up with inflation. Hey, how you doing, sweetie? All right. You have to be able to keep up with inflation, right? Because if your money not keeping up with inflation, guess what's happening? It's being eaten into and you losing money, right? Then you got taxes, right? See, if you keep letting them tax the crap out of you and you just say, I'm gonna keep taking it, guess what's gonna happen? You're losing your money. Somebody's gonna get wealthy, which we call it the government. So now the government got your money, right? Then you're gonna go get in debt. So now that you're in debt, right? Now I'm asking this person, these are the things that you got that's keeping you broke. These are the things that you have in your life that's preventing you from becoming rich. So I don't know what they're talking about when they ask me, is it a get rich scheme? Because I don't know what it is. I've never been in one either. I don't know. But you got to get out of debt because now you're a slave to the lender, which is the bank. You have to understand the system, first of all, especially if you live in America. You have to understand the system that we are in. In this system, it's called capitalism. That's just what it is. And I tell people all the time, the informed will take advantage of the uninformed. That's kind of like what it means. Now, if a person really don't want to take care of their own finances and be informed, you know, that's the person that's really looking for the negative side of the get rich scheme. Because a scheme really, I don't know, you know, just me thinking, I guess tactically in the military, with my military mind, a scheme is something that if I'm doing it wrong and you know a different label or definition, just let me know. A scheme kind of like a plan to me. Am I wrong or am I right about it? It's kind of like a plan. That's what scheme means.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So they say a get rich scheme, that's a plan, right?
Yes.
To get rich. So, see, Will, sometimes I just have to make sure the person who talking to me, they really know what they want. And the reason why I say that, Will, is because of, you know, I tell people this KFC, and I ain't talking about chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken. But believe it or not, Will, most people, they KFC it out. The K stand for no. They don't know what they want. So I say to these people, you have to know what you want. Now, the F, I like to say find out. You could find out what you're getting And you know what you're getting if you just be transparent enough to look at your pay stub. You know what you're getting, and you know if it's not enough. And to see, change what you're getting. I mean, change what you're doing so you could get rich. The only reason why you ain't rich or wealthy because of you see what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
If what you doing ain't got you where you want to be today, and if you keep doing it, that's insane. Insane to me, crazy. Not the miraculous crazy. That's insane to keep doing something over and over, thinking you're going to get a result that you don't get. So I know I digressed and I went all across the forest just to get to one tree. But that's how, I deal with the people and I understand where they're coming from, Willie, when they ask me about is this a get rich scheme. A lot of people is mentally. They never was taught how money works. So I know it's a mental block right there in that person. I almost said medulla oblongata, but I might sound too smart. That's another word I learned. I tell you, man, I like to try to use them words, man. I probably be using them all out of the wrong context when it comes to English. But guess what? I'm a financial expert now. I'm not an English major. I don't even, have a whole lot of school, but man, that's the entertainment part of what we do. So back to you, Will.
Hey man, hey, I love it. I love it. Keep on giving it to it, man. Like you always say, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person.
You're so right about that.
So, all right, man. So I wanna just kind of just continue on with that. And is that me or is that you?
Oh, TJ, turn that down. It don't lie. That TJ in the background eating breakfast and
Oh, okay. What's up, nephew? Tell him I know he gotta get them vittles in him. I ain't mad at it. But let's kind of continue on to that same track, man. We're talking about, is it one of them get rich quick things? And I really think that a lot of people, like you said, when they speak like that, and I don't want to offend nobody, but sometimes you gotta call a spade a spade. When people speak like that or they talk like that, they're coming from a place of ignorance.
yeah.
And before I educated myself, when somebody would call me ignorant, I would be angry and want to fight. But you have to understand, when you don't know something about something, that means you're what about it? You're ignorant.
Ignorant, yeah.
And that's not a derogatory term. Like before I, made the contact with Nick, who led me to you, I was ignorant when it came to money. You know what I mean? All I knew was make it, spend it, and hope you got something left after you spend it so you can do something. I have since learned that it's a better way to do it. But I think a lot of people miss it, man, when they think about a get rich quick scheme, is that they don't understand wealth, because nobody that is wealthy got rich quick. Wealth takes time. And I just, you say you've been exposed to Mr. Curry and Mr. Stokes, they got 40 years in the game. And can you share with us, man, the thought process that comes with obtaining wealth? Because like I told a guy this the other day. If you pay attention, you get these people that win the lottery for all these multi-millions of dollars, and they good for right then, but 5 or 10 years later they worse off than they was. Can you just kind of tell us the mindset that comes with the growing with your money?
Woo! You just said it right there. You just ended it right there, Willie. That's exactly what I was gonna say. The mindset that it takes to grow with your money. Now, I can only speak to where I'm at now in my life from what I've learned. But let me just put it out there now before I forget. But your mind, your money could only go as far as your mind can take it. Mind come before money. You are absolutely right. Not only for lottery winners. You got your athletes out there, they are signing these contracts 1.8 thousand million. No, I'm just joking. But 1 million, what I'm talking about? They got all this ludicrous, like sum, amount. But when they walk away from the league, does it follow them? Can they live that same lifestyle? See, they went to school, but they kind of like became an expert in their skill, which is on that football field, in the skill, which is on that basketball court. Okay. Skill on the baseball field, that's athletes. Then you got entertainers, rappers. Same thing. You can look at the young generation today. Give a little man 18, 15 million dollars. See what happened to him without the mind coming first. It's gonna intensify everything they are at that time. See, becoming wealthy gonna take a whole lot of humbling, humility. And here's why I say that. To whom much is given, much is required. Really, coming from where I come from. So you can talk to me any kind of way. It's just me and you. I don't care. Step on my toes, Willie, because I know where I come from. And the crazy thing about it is Black History Month, and I've been Black for 47 years. And I did not, where I come from in Georgia, I did not get introduced to financial literacy until 2008. So, you see what I'm saying? So people have been conditioned not to understand money. Therefore, when they lack the knowledge, they are destroyed. They hit the lottery and it's gone because they never grew to see their worth, to understand their worth. When you know your worth, you'll sustain your worth. When you know your worth long enough, you will advance your worth. Could you imagine how long Mr. Kerr been, making, the illustration we learned today, $10,000 a month. You know how long he probably been making $10,000 a month? You can imagine he been making $10,000 a month for a very long time. At the same time, we also know right now, 40 years later, he making way more than $10,000 a month. See, it took his mind. And so that's what they're teaching me. It takes a shift in your mindset and how you see and think about money. When you put money in the hands of a person who didn't have to work for it, when it fall into their lap, they just start looking at the entertainers. They start looking at entertainment, and guess what they do? Become a product of the world. Status quo, I guess that's a good word. Now they buying everybody everything. I think MC Hammer did that one time. And when MC Hammer did it, thank God he probably ain't broke, but he could have been in a better position if he'd have ran all his decisions through financial literacy. So there you go. So that's why the mind is so powerful, Willie. That's why the mentality, people have to know that, because there's some high-paying jobs out there too that make $100,000 a year. People make $100,000 a year and they still living broke. Willie, I remember sharing something that was reported, and I shared it on my Facebook feed about people making six figures and they living check to check today. Here you go. I don't know how much you make, Willie, but I know people who make $40,000 a year in the pandemic and don't live check to check. Remember? Well, I ain't gonna say remember, but you just saw Mr. Curry show us how people making $100 in business, they have a job, but they became millionaires. The only difference was their mindset and what did they do with the money. So I know once again, Willie, I like to go around and try to draw people in so they could hear it from a different perspective, because it's their money and it's gonna make somebody wealthy. Point blank. I don't care whose toes you stepping on. If they don't understand how to manage their own money, Willie, what's gonna happen? What else could happen? So the people that hit the lottery, the people that sign those contracts and 5 years later they're broke, Willie, it's obvious. They didn't have a mind for it. So, and now you get me into personal development where people don't understand. See, thoughts become things. Them people said, I hope I hit the lottery. They didn't never plan to hit it. They just hoped for it. They didn't go through goal setting, goal achievement. See, it take personal development. The Army teaches us that. It take personal development. See, we the best leaders out there, Willie. Believe it or not. I think anybody in the military, a good person. They some great leaders if they made it 20 years in the Army. If they made it 20 years in whatever. In anything, to be honest with you. Because people start everything and don't finish nothing. That's why in high school, I ain't gonna say high school, but college, you got more freshmen going in, and you have more seniors coming out every year. Every year.
Hey,
but my I ain't mean to, I just like to put it out there, man. And we just have conversation. That's what these about. We ain't trying to sell nobody on nothing. We just like to talking, like they said, keep it 100, right?
Yeah. One of the analogies, man. One of my friends, man. I'm gonna shout him out right here because he always, looking after me and taking care of me, pray for me and everything else. Mr. Pastor Maurice Lawson down there in Greenwood, Mississippi. Boy told me one time. He said, Willie, I want you to think about something. He said, when a baby is first born, do you feed them steak or do you give them milk? I was like, that's common sense. You give them milk. He's like, a lot of people don't understand. They try to eat steak before they got the teeth to do it, and they end up choking themselves to death. When I think about the mind and how it's supposed to grow, and when people get these large amounts of money and they never had it because their mind didn't grow, that's exactly what happened, man. You done mess around, got out there and got yourself a steak and ain't got no teeth to eat it with. You gotta come on, man. You gotta grow with it.
You can't even swallow. Don't even know how to swallow. That's the hard part. You gotta throw how to make it work.
Oh. Hey, so next thing, man, like I said, man, this is good stuff right here. I'm hoping. Hey, like I say, man, I know I see we got some eyes and some things, some hearts and stuff coming in. Hey, man, please make sure as you tune in, drop your city, drop your state. Just let us know where you're tuning in from. And of course, man, if you got a comment, just drop it, man. We'll pull it up and we'll engage you on it. Terence, I want to hit you with something else, man. And you have really, over the course of the years that we've been friends and we've been talking and whatnot, you always help me understand that time is one thing that a lot of people have, but they just misuse it. Like you posed the question to me, what would I do if I just own 8 hours of my day? You are in a position, and I salute you. I'm trying to get there. You own all your time. You are nowhere that you don't want to be. You spend time with your family however you want to. But my question for you, and for anybody who may be listening to this, what is the advice you would give someone that when you share the opportunity with them and you share the information with them, they come at you with the, man, I ain't got no time for that. What would be your advice to them?
Golly, Willie. And I was just gonna go live, and I got my notes in the office, man, about that. I don't even know. But Willie, that is so interesting to me, especially about time. Time is all we have. That's all we got. That's equal. I think, Willie, in El Paso, Texas, I think it's 24 hours in your day. I think so. Yes. I'm in Amarillo, Texas, and it's 24 hours over here. I talked to my mama, she in Perry, Georgia. It's 24 hours in a day there. Now, we all get the same time. What we do with that time is totally up to us. Remember I told you, time gonna keep changing. Somewhere gonna be 1 o'clock, somewhere gonna be 2 o'clock, somewhere gonna be 3 o'clock. You have the option. Somewhere it's gonna be winter, somewhere it's gonna be fall, somewhere it's gonna be spring. You have the option to adapt and move with the change. But people who say they don't have time, once again, to whom much is given, much is required. So I ask those people, and I try to get them to see, and I'm gonna use me as an example. I shared this post today about blessings and burdens. See, Willie, if you want more time, you got to start doing things that's gonna save you and stop you from losing time. True or true?
True.
Okay. So you have to stop doing things that wasting your time. So you got to eliminate the time wasters. But at the same time, here's the hard part. For you to get out of where you are right now. See, mentally, You like, God, I ain't got no time. You done told yourself you ain't got time so long, so much, whatever you say and see, it expand. People don't get that. You told yourself you don't have time so long to, you really believe it now. You don't have no time. But you breathing right now. You looking. You saw the notification on your phone. You swiped up. You scrolling. That requires time. So you do have, folks do have time, Willie. It's what they do with their time. Everybody got time to get wealthy. You use your time to go make the money. So why not use the time to learn how to make the money give you the time? But here's why, Willie. Like I was talking about, it's burdens in all the blessings. Willie, it's a blessing for me to own my time. I thank God for it, don't get me wrong. But it's a blessing. But people don't see the burden that comes with it. And it is a burden. I just don't tell people the burden because I want them to know that's life. Now, let me share with you what I mean. And I hope the listeners could grab whoever listens, because you said we can't say the wrong thing to the right people. But Willie, we wanted to have and build our house. Okay. It's a blessing, but it's a burden at the same time. When you build a bigger house, that's a blessing. You could do it. But the burden is it comes with more lawn to mow, more grass to cut, more maintenance. Really, you relate to this. See, it's a blessing to bird. They flock together like birds of a feather. But everybody look at the doggone burden. I ain't got the time, but that's what you want, the time. I ain't got the money, but that's what you want, the money. It saves you and gives you time. See what I'm saying, Willie? See, you can relate because with the promotion in the military. When you get promoted, that's the blessing. Woo! Got done as soldier out of range. God, I gotta go look for a grown person. That's a burden in it, right? So with promotion come more responsibility. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how people gotta view what they really want in life. And I know we in the financial space, but that's with anything. So I wanted to make it a blanket statement. But when it comes to starting your business, now Willie, if a person don't have 5 minutes to manage their own money, they don't have a life. You don't have 5 minutes to manage and multiply your own money, you don't have a life. You don't have 5 minutes to give to your own life. And Willie, I do believe there's some people out there like that because of just by me in the financial space, it seems like the world has sped up. I watch the world and view it from a different position because I'm sitting still. I own all my time and I can see what people post. I can see what they do. Most people are caught up in the rat race and they always on the go. That used to be me. That used to be me. So now that I see it differently, Willie, time is all we have. And I was doing more by 6 in the morning in the Army than most people do all day. So I don't really deal well, I guess, with people who say they don't have time. If I can't get them to see, I meet them where they are. But the world has sped up, for some reason because of inflation. See, you're working, the reason why you ain't got no time is because if you just manage it, you'll see, oh man, I'm working 3 jobs. Now, we're not here to knock jobs, but you fail to understand the lack of knowledge because of 3 jobs is for 3 people. It don't help you to work 3 jobs. You hurting yourself. You stressing yourself. You heard what Mr. Curry say? He could go back home and he's 65 today, but he looked 20 years younger than them other people. 10 years younger than some.
Yep.
See, Willie, it ain't hard to live life. You just got to find somebody, lifestyle, and you learn from them. And you go with it. That's what you call mentorship. That's what we all started from. Everybody nowadays want to do it by themselves. See, I see this. They want to be the boss. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with it. Be the boss. Do what boss do. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But when you get tired, I know between your 30s, 28, 35, 44, 45, you might hit it. You're going to think you got it going on. But when that inflation creep up on them, Willie, and they of that age, almost get set in their ways, you could be that OT. Remember the OT in the financial game?
Out of time.
That's a bad place to be, Willie. That's a bad place to be. That's a bad place to be, Willie. And when I learned the financial game, and I just got to throw a shout out to the Financial Blueprint Academy. So if anybody listening, financialblueprintacademy.com, okay? That's what we breaking it down, but that's what we talking a lot about. But Willie, time, that's all we have, man. And once again, I don't went on the deep end. But that's how we get. I mean, that's how we get when we go here.
Yes, Lord. Hey, you went right where you needed to go with that, man. I sure appreciate it, man. And just to kind of, add something to that, man, like a lot of people, and Mr. Curry this morning showed us a plan over a 15-year span to where you can become a millionaire. And when I was sitting there thinking about it, and I always hear how people say they don't got time, they don't got time. And you said this to me one time. You said, Willie, the time is gonna pass anyway. What are you gonna do with the time? Now, we are young people, but we got some people out there younger than we are, man. Some 25-year-olds, some 35-year-olds or whatnot. They're gonna be 50 or 40 and 15 by the time that 15-year period pass. And if they don't do something right now, that time is gonna come and they're gonna be nowhere near close to being able to, as you say, retire off what you built because you didn't make use of your time. It's all about what you do with it. Like you said, everybody got the same 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? You an hour ahead of me right now in Amarillo, but I can guarantee you when it hit 6 o'clock where you was at, it was damn near evident it was gonna hit 6 o'clock where I was at.
You can't avoid it. You can't pick yourself up and run from it.
No, sir. No kind of way.
It's gonna land right there. Boom.
Hey, man. So I got another one for you, man. Dang, I thought I had one for you. It was on my mind. I should have said it when it came to me.
I probably messed it up.
No,
because
you didn't. Oh, here we go. This is what it was. So I was actually talking to some of my students yesterday, man. And because they follow me on social media and stuff, and they be like, Son Johnson, I think it's crazy that you retired from the Army, you teach at the school, but you also talk about money. You and I was explaining to them, hey, this is how investment works. And I was showing them, like, let's just say you find something, and you 18 right now, and you put it into something that's going to gain you. And I was just being modest, because me and you both know that there are some things that you can put your money in, it'll bring you 10%, 15%, some people getting up to 20. I just, as you say, I use some of my tools with them young fellas. I pulled up and showed them, hey, man, let's just say right now, at 18 years old, you take $500 a month and put it into something that gets you a 8% rate of return and leave it there for 40 years. And I showed them the number and their mouths dropped open. See, what I told them is, and what I want to get your opinion on is, I think that people forget sometimes that they so quick to make sure that they go in and they update these.
Ooh.
But they never go in and update this.
Yeah. Wow.
Why is it, Tarence? And we say this when we do our Wednesday night calls. People know that they are in a system or they are on a path that's going to lead them nowhere. Why is it so many people, man, they fight, update, and change when it comes to the mind or to their finances? But when it comes to this damn smart device right here, they gonna make sure that it's always running on the latest system.
Willie, that's a good question, man. Wow. That's a good question. And being that I guess, I don't know, talking about time, I really don't know, Will. A lot of people use this as their timepiece. So they stuck to this. And because they stuck to it, they're going to make sure it stay updated because for some reason, they time tell them where they need to be, when they need to be there. But man, that's a tough one. But I would have to say, most people, it just don't hurt them enough, Willie. It don't hurt them enough to make the change. It don't to change the situation. It don't hurt them enough to even get them to think. First of all, it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. It's hard to work for your own self. For you to do it for yourself, it's very challenging. So if I had to make an excuse for most people, that would be the excuse I give them. But they have to do it because ain't nobody coming to save them. So it's gonna click to them eventually, and I hope it's before their kids have to put them into a nursing home. You know what I'm saying? I hope it comes to them fast enough because they can run out of time. But yeah, Willie. When I don't think like that, I don't even know how to think like that. And when I don't know how to think like that, I get somebody to teach me. But that's one way I don't want to think. I don't even want to learn. I like the way I'm going better.
It's funny, man, because like I was talking to one of the kids individually. He was just kind of asking me. He's like, Sergeant Johnson, like, how do I even start investing? Like, and I was just kind of regurgitating to him what I have learned. And I asked him, I said, and I didn't, I know a little bit about his family's backstory or whatnot. And I was like, you mean to tell me you this old and nobody in your family has set you down to talk about this? And he said, Son Johnson, all my family has ever told me to do is save my money and just leave it in the bank. I didn't get mad. I told him, I said, hey, check this out. I said, have you ever gotten your statement from the bank at the end of the year when it tells you how much your money has grown since you left it in there? And he was like, yeah, it's usually like a couple of pennies. I said, so if you know that, why would you continue to leave your money there? I said, now don't get me wrong. Now you need to have money that you can touch. It should something happen. I said, I don't know how much money you got in your savings account. And he told me, he said, Son Johnson, I got $2,000 in my savings account. I said, absolutely. I said, do you know that once you turn 18, you need to find you somebody. You need to call you one of these money management companies and take that $2,000 at 18 years old and put that money in there and start letting it get you some real interest. It just, and like I said, it's not a derogatory term. It's just like a lot of people are so in their feelings sometimes about being exposed to things that when you tell them you're ignorant, they want to fight you. No, it's not. I'm not telling you that because I'm trying to offend you. I want to fight you. If you don't know something about something, you are ignorant about it. And
exactly.
it just it surprises me. Well, I can't say it surprises me because I don't come from Perry, Georgia. I come from Tyler, Texas, and there's a lot of people back there, man. I love my family to death, and I always say this when I get on my lives, man. I would never knock my family, but my family could only teach me about money what they knew.
That's it.
So it's on me to carry this thing forward, or as we say, you say in the Army, carry the water forward, so that my kids, can learn this and implement it in their lives. And I know you teaching TJ and Taryn that, so it's just a crazy state that we live in, man. I don't know.
But really, we've been living in it for a long time now, and I'm gonna take it away for finances because of, I did the Army for 20 years, and Willie, I remember when I went into the Army in 1995, we had lost, like they say, when I was coming in, we were losing leadership. So that's like let's just say a generation, okay, of some smart people going out and ain't there to help us no more, right? Leaders. But see, Willie, that's what legacy is about. And when I came in the Army at that time, it wasn't a lot of great leaders because they were probably getting out of whatever the case may be. And it could have skipped me. But I found a good mentor who was a great leader that, he made it. You always got one that gonna come through the crack. He probably was a troublemaker, got in trouble, but he learned from his mistakes, and now he's sharing it to other people before they make the mistakes. I think that's a great leader. Don't make the mistakes no more. Learn from them, share with other people. Now, in our legacy, see, it's going to be a generation that's going to stop poverty for people in their legacy. But it's also going to be some that get skipped. That just That's just how it works. So that's why I'm just so excited. I want to thank you publicly for helping me establish the Financial Blueprint Academy, because it's an institution, Willie, that's online. We ain't got to have no more family members' legacies getting skipped. So when it was time to lead the soldiers, a soldier who never had, let's just say you had a senior enlisted person, never had a problem in their life. Senior leadership never got in trouble in their life. And they dealing with an individual broke, ready to give up on life, ain't making it on time where they're supposed to be. See, it's gonna take some experience, will it? And if you don't have experience, what is it that you're gonna say? See, the same thing working in the financial area. But you'll have some people like won't put that stress and importance to hang around a mentor who have been broke, busted, and disgusted, had to get it out the mud, and now they are doing well. So it takes humility to talk to them people, especially when you're in the mud, dirty yourself. That's why, Willie, we just want to make sure we put this information out there, man, so can't nobody be overlooked. If they want to be overlooked, it's because they chose to be overlooked. But I haven't seen an institution in college. And if somebody listened to us, I hope they drop the college institution that's teaching personal financial success. See, I don't know what they teach about business because I don't have a business degree. I didn't go. But I know when I was in school, I didn't see a course about personal financial success. And if they do have a curriculum better than ours, I'd like to see it.
Hey, I'm gonna get in line with you. I'm gonna wait and see that one.
I can stand on the top of it. That's how I get here.
What you always tell me, man, the further you go, the further you can see.
I came a long way, Willie, and I see a lot.
All right, man. We've been on this thing, man. I say, let me see here. I'm gonna check it out on the.
Longer than you ever been.
Hey, you know what though? Hey, actually, no, man. Because you remember that one time we did. One time I think it was me, you, Chauncey, Nick. I think we was on there like an hour and a half, man.
Oh,
but hey, it's all good, man. But hey, so check this out, man. Again, I'm just gonna drop this out there, man. For anybody that tunes in, I know this. We've been on here for a minute, but I want to say this to you. And Terence, I'm gonna defer to you after I say it, but I got one more topic I want to cover, man. The time is gonna pass anyway. Some of y'all get on there and you watch your favorite TV show, you'll binge watch it, you'll get through the first 5 seasons and spend your entire day. If you catch this, man, sit down, watch it, listen to what we're saying, and please come back, drop your comments, man. We would love to engage with y'all. It's all about engagement. It's all about sharing knowledge. And of course, y'all know it's all about that old edutainment. So Terence, me and you, man, we was talking before we got on, and I'm not going to say this individual's name, but I will talk about what they said. We see people who get on social media, and the first thing that they do is they badmouth people who are not in the position to where they are. They tell you that if you ain't making X amount of thousands of dollars, then you suck at life. You failing at life. You again, I always defer back to you because I'm learning from you. I'm watching you. You've been in this game 15 years, man. I've been doing it half that time, not even half that time. But I can see where I came from to where I am now. And I just want to get your thought, man. What is it that you would tell somebody who gets on social media and see somebody who has amassed a large amount of money, and then they look at you and tell you that you suck because you don't have what they have?
What advice or what would I give? Well, first of all, Willie, I'm going to tell you what I don't do. I don't tap people down. I rather build people up. So I'm not finna come out with no crazy statement that I know gonna tap people down because I don't even make $300,000 a year. You see what I'm saying? Even if I made $300,000 a year, I still won't say you less of a man because you don't. So that is a lot of money. But remember what I told you earlier, when that money come into people's hands, they growing or whatever the case may be, they probably they are not complete yet. They're not there. So they might have to eat some humble pie soon. You never know. Because life could change. So that's why you gotta be, it's power in the words, so you gotta be careful with what you say. So that's why I always say, build people up. Don't break them down. Build people up. Don't break them down. I don't bash jobs. I don't bash incomes. I don't bash credit scores. I don't bash really nothing. I don't even use lies. Like, well, it ain't the truth. So when you click on something, like clickbait, those will be lies. But they marketing to get people to get them to click. I got that part. But I don't even market like that. So I don't even know if I really answered your question or not, Willie, but I don't believe in, that just not, I don't know what you call that, but I wouldn't do it. It ain't nothing that I do. So if I don't do it, I really can't speak on it, And Mr. Curry tell me all the time, man, hey, you can't speak on what you don't know. So I don't know how to do it. I don't do it.
I sure wish more people would take that right there, man. Don't speak on what you don't know. And I try. I was telling, and like I said, I try to, when I'm at school and I'm talking to my kids, man. They always tell me, that's like, Tom Johnson, man, you always saying some stuff that's so motivating and everything else. And I just tell them, like, it's too many fools with social media platforms that spew a lot of stupidity and foolishness. I'm just not going to allow myself to get caught up in it, because, like you said, that's not what we do. But I will tell you this, and I said this before, man. A lot of people, regardless of what end of the spectrum you at, you got to be careful about comparing your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 53. And 53 got to be really careful about comparing their 53 to somebody else's 1. There's a lot of story that is yet to be told between 1 and 53, and there's a lot of story you might have forgotten about at 53 back to 1. So one thing that I've learned through personal development, that you always encourage, the people that you help to do, is to always remember where you came from, where you're going, and where you're at, because all 3 of those are crucial states. Don't ever get so far removed from where you came from that you can't reach back and help nobody, and don't ever become so comfortable where you're at that you stop growing. So that's yeah. I gotta give it to you. Hey, I know that shit sound like it's real smart and intelligent, but I listen to some other people. That wasn't all me right there.
Hey, and it takes discipline too, Willie, to do all that. It takes discipline to operate in that state. But that's the honest God truth. You sure right about that, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, like I said, man, it's been, hey, this is Saturday, man. I really appreciate you taking this time with me, man, and hopping on. I always look forward to it. But we definitely got to get back on some routine Friday night entertainments, because
yeah, man, we passed due, Willie. We long overdue, man. And like I said, I appreciate you, and I can't wait. I guess April, I don't know. We might see each other. June for sure. We're gonna see each other in Atlanta, and I'm just trying to come up with some things to do. I even asked a question on Facebook to some real leaders out there, thinking I'm gonna get some help. But people, one thing I learned: hurt people, help people, love to help people.
Yes, they do.
And so I got a couple people to help me come up with some ideas on what to do for the team. And so we might do that in April. And then when we get to Atlanta, Georgia in June, we're going to advance it a little bit. But hey, man, I just want to say I appreciate you. Hey, it's an investment. Willie, anytime we pick up this phone, how long are we on this phone? See what I'm saying? I don't mind investing. This is time not wasted. I will see a return on investment next year. The reason why I said that, because of next year in my Facebook feed, this is going to pop up. And I'm going to comment on this because I know my intent.
Yes, sir.
I know my vision, and I know what we're gonna do and where we're going.
Absolutely.
One
Absolutely. Hey, man, do
Good
me
to
a
you.
favor before we get off this thing, man. Just tell everybody who following, man, tell them where they can find you at on all your social media platforms, wherever they may be looking at. Because like I said, man, you got a lot of stuff out there, and somebody may have just popped in and been like, man, I saw that dude over there doing this. Just let them know where they can go find you at, man.
I was a cool deal, and I made it simple for everybody, man, because of my government, military, army background. My last name been Hill, and that's all I ever been hearing. And I said, Willie, when I get out of this here thing, I'm gonna hear my first name, and my first name is Tarence, and my last name is Hill. I am a senior, but Tarence Hill, you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. I think that's about all I'm at. And Tarence Hill, that's my name. That's who I am. My mama named me that. And I'm going to continue to be the very best at being Tarence Hill. So you can find me on those platforms, Willie, and we act the same way on those too.
And he ain't telling no lie. And you already know, man, if y'all been following me any length of time, you can find me on all them same social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And it is just what it say right there on the screen right now. Willie Ray Johnson Jr. I'm like Terrence. I love to hear my name so much. I call it all myself. Yes, Lord. Hey, Terrence, you already know, man, when we get ready to end these things, I like to hear you say what you say when you say it, because it sounds so good when you do it. Take us up out of here, good brother.
Man, since you like to hear what I say, I hope I don't forget what I say, but I'm about to say it anyway. And to everybody who listens to this video, like I always say, the biggest room in the world is that room for improvement. I challenge and encourage everybody to listen today, wherever you are in your life. Take care of your finances and step in that room.
All right, Terrence, take care, good brother.
All right, you too, bro. Peace.